Relaxing your feet, relaxing your toes, relaxing the ankles and the calves, relaxing your knees, right knee and left knee, your left knee and your right knee. Relaxing your thighs, the hamstrings and the buttocks, your back and shoulders, chest, arms, hands. Relaxing your whole body. Just investigate whether you have any areas of tension. We don't need to label, we don't need to start to maybe criticize or get into the thoughts of where is this and where is that. But just if you notice as you scan through your body, randomly going and jumping from place to place, if there's any tension, and if there is, if you find a little bit of something, then think about loosening it. Try and release tight muscles. If you have an area that is ill or sick or injured and you know that, it causes you a little bit of tension and tightness, just breathe into it, imagining it well, imagining it released of that. If you just know that you carry tension in your neck or your shoulders or your hips, sending the breath there, just see them too, releasing and relaxing. Let your whole body remain quiet for a little bit of time. Subtle awareness of the little movements that are occurring. Breath will make your belly rise and fall. Just notice that. Awareness of these subtle movements. Even though I've asked you to be still, idiosyncratically it's impossible because there are movements occurring in our bodies every second of every moment of every day, from the moment that we're born to the moment that we pass over. Just noticing these subtle movements that are occurring in your body right now. The physical body moving on its own without any effort from you, in spite of all this control to be still. Notice which parts are moving and where is movement. Sometimes we get little twitches as the prana floods through our body. Those little twitches in the fingers or the toes, whether the head will just drop off to one side. Did you just eat? Is your stomach digesting? And the stomach, as I said, will move with the breath. You're not doing this, it's happening all on its own. So just watch it, just watch this movement internally with your eyes closed. Notice and be aware of this rising and falling of the belly. And of course, the reason for this movement is breath. And breath is just so ever present in everything that we do. It comes in from the nose and the mouth, going down, and though it instigates movement in the belly, of course the lungs don't go that far. The lungs stop at the diaphragm, and yet breath is so powerful, it actions this extra movement below. It's flowing in and out, causing this inner movement. It also causes palpitations along Sushumna, between Ajna chakra in the eyebrows and Muladhara at the base of the spine. This movement that's been going on since the day that you were born. How often do we really spend time being aware of this movement? Not to criticize, not to judge, but just the joy of being able to stop everything else and notice just breath. But the prana moving through the whole body is actually vibrating with energy. And we just bring that to our notice through noticing the breath first. Ordinarily unaware of it, we're just going to tune into that now. Just witness. We call the art of witness Shakshi Bhava. Just the attitude of witnessing. Witnessing the breath coming in and the breath coming out. Now, for some of you, if you do have an established practice of meditation, you might have a sankalpa. And I don't want to disturb the thought process of anybody who's thinking, I've never heard this word, I don't know what this is, that's fine. It's a resolve, it's a positive affirmation. So if you do have a sankalpa, it's always a good idea to focus on it just for a while at the beginning and end of our meditation practice. If you don't have a sankalpa, if you have a positive affirmation, then you can obviously think of that now. And if you don't have anything, maybe you could start to think about what it is that you want. Okay, so if you're looking for sort of an enlightened spiritual path, your sankalpa will come to you intuitively. If you're looking to actually be more proactive in doing something better for yourself, then we have what we call the 3 Ps. It must be personal to you. We can't change anybody else. So if you need to make a positive affirmation that it's about a relationship, say with another person, we don't say, I wish that person was X, Y, and Z. We say, I wish I was better able to deal with that person. So it must be personal to you. We don't change anybody else. If you think about butterfly effect or ripples on a lake, if we start changing things, then other things change. So we only change self. We always think about it in the present tense. So this is said as though it already has come into being. Okay? And it must be positive. So don't say, I'm not going to eat chocolate anymore. Just say, maybe I'll eat more fruit or something that's positive, personal and present tense. And if anybody's got any questions about that, I can, of course, have a chat with you after, or you can ping me a message. So sankalpa is something that comes to you intuitively, and it's just something that comes up. A positive resolve or resolution is something that follows the 3 Ps. Just once you've got one, be like a dog with a bone with it. Stick with it. You know, even if you think other things suddenly come and go, stay with your resolve until it has come to fruition. And then once it has done that, then you move on. Every time you practice sadhana or yoga nidra or meditation, you should come back to that same sankalpa or resolve. Fix the language, fix the prose that you're going to use, and try and maintain that every time. This is kind of like, I guess, a prayer to the universe that you're asking for something. And if you start switching around the language or the prose, it can get confused, and it can get that it takes longer to find you. So by keeping it simple, by keeping it in the same language, those things that you're looking to attract come to you quicker. So we're just going to take a moment to go through. I want to do a rotation of consciousness, which is something I've borrowed from Yoga Nidra. So I just want you to visualize. So there should be no movement. We've already spoken about this. So when I mention a part of your body, I want you to really resist the urge to move it, and I just want you to bring your mental awareness to it. So when I say left hand thumb, I want you to think in your head about that part of your body, but not to move it. So you're going to have this combative resistance going on, because you're going to want to move it, you're going to want to wiggle it, but you're going to just let that stillness permeate every cell of your body. So starting with the right hand, just visualize in your mind's eye your right hand, and then focus in on your right hand thumb. And it's okay to say mentally to yourself, my right hand thumb. Just try and resist the urge to move. Second finger, third finger, fourth finger, baby finger. Visualize your whole hand, the palm of your hand, the back of your hand, your wrist, your forearm. I'm guiding you along your right side. I'll tell you when we change to left. Visualize only your right elbow, the upper arm, shoulder, armpits, right chest, right waist, hip, buttock, thigh, hamstring, knee, calf, ankle, heel, sole, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, baby toe, all 5 toes together. Now take your consciousness, please, to the left side. Just as we were visualizing the parts on the right, now we'll visualize on the left. Start again at the left hand, and particularly with the left hand thumb. Second finger, third finger, fourth finger, baby finger. All 5 fingers together. Palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, left armpit, left chest, left waist, hip, buttock, thigh, hamstring, knee, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, baby toe, all 5 toes together. Visualize your body as if you were looking from within, and then visualize your body as if you were looking from without. Visualize your body from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes, as though you were standing next to yourself, looking back at yourself. Notice whether there's any areas of tension. Think about the body in parts: the right leg and the left leg, the right arm, the left arm, the front of your body, the back of your body, the head, and then your whole body together, the whole of your body together. Now I want you to think about how your body is connected currently with the earth. And we're going to be talking about the spring vernal equinox. It's just coming up now, this time when we get equal light and dark. Imagine your body sitting upon this earth. It's just waiting to awaken and burst forth. See your whole physical form seated or lying upon the floor. touching the earth with all these gentle points. Become aware of the parts of your whole physical body that are absorbing energy from Mother Earth. Prana from the air, the vibrations that are all around us. As a result of meditative practice, your physical body should become quiet. Experience tranquility, peace, and quiet. This whole environment, all the vibrations just settling around us, like motes or dust, just coming down, raining upon us. Consciousness is functioning, the little teeny tiny bit of awareness. We don't want to become unconscious, but it's perfectly okay to do that. Don't listen mechanically, but listen to the instructions carefully. And just follow them without attachment and practice what is said. The spring equinox celebrates the renewed life of the earth that comes with the season we call spring. It's a solar festival, celebrated when the length of the day and the night are equal. And obviously this happens twice a year, but currently we're moving out of dark and into light. This turn in the seasons has been celebrated for hundreds of years through many cultures throughout history. There's been festivals and holidays from Aphrodite in Cyprus, Hathor in Egypt, and Ostrara in Scandinavia. Here the Celts continued the tradition with the festivities at this time of year. At the vernal equinox, pagans celebrate the coming of spring, attributing the changes that are going on in the world to an increase in the power of their gods and goddesses, the personification of the great force that is at the work of the world. The time of the spring equinox, the god and goddesses are often seen as the Green Man and Mother Earth. The Green Man is said to be born from Mother Earth in the depths of winter and to live through the rest of the year until he dies at Samhain in October. There's rituals that we can get involved in. Things like egg hunts, collecting of flowers, or just taking time to sit in nature. Vernal equinox is a powerful seasonal day, celebrated by ancient and modern people alike. I encourage you to find some time around this beautiful day, which happened on Saturday the 20th, in case you're not aware, to pause, to reflect, to look forwards, to celebrate this meaningful seasonal shift. Maybe wake up at dawn. Spring is associated with new beginnings, and as dawn is the start of a new day, you can combine the two factors. Be there when the light comes into the day, the sun more powerful now than the night. Maybe say your mantra and toast the growing sun on this beautiful, sacred, seasonal day. Take a walk in nature if you can, or maybe just in your own space or garden, looking for signs of spring. All around you, there's these just little indications that the world is once again awakening. Notice the blossom on the trees, the crocuses and the daffodils, the chirping of the birds, just everything blooming right now. All these beautiful things starting to re-emerge. And remember that from darkness comes light, and from the stark barrenness comes forth once more the green and pleasant lands. If you're not able to get out, or you don't feel comfortable with doing that, sit at a window and open the window and just look beyond. Again, just smell the fresh, damp air. Listen to the birds. Watch the clouds passing overhead. And know that spring is here. Eggs signify a lot to do with spring. So an Astara meal is what we usually traditionally have to celebrate this wonderful of days. And an Astara meal is, of course, a meal of egg. So if you are not adverse to eating eggs, then try and make that the focus of your vernal equinox. You could maybe plan some nice dishes, or you could do something where you work with egg shapes if you're not into eating them. Maybe thinking about more chocolate type eggs, making things in preparation for Easter. Make some plans. Spend a little bit of time to just sit and think about the things that you'd like to do during this spring season. It lasts from now until Beltane, and then from Beltane to solstice in June. So there's plenty of time to look forwards. And don't forget to send your good wishes and energy out into the world, because we remember that when we send out, we receive. Some people even believing that whatever we put forward comes back double. So remember to keep it positive. Get double positive in return. Just taking some time to notice the breath now. I'm not going to do a very complicated breathing or pranayama practice. Just awareness of your breath. Just noticing how it has maybe quietened, maybe deepened. That beautiful breath coming in and out. We're just going to start to manipulate it, just very, very, very small manipulations. I'd like you to think of a square, 4 equal sides. Just picture that in your mind. Those 4 sides of the square are going to represent your breath. Between inhalation and exhalation, there is a very tiny pause. And between exhalation and inhalation, there's also a very tiny pause. And if we think about inhaling and pausing and exhaling and pausing, you'd probably expect to see a rectangle. So what I want you to do is I want you to try and even everything up. Make the inhalation and the exhalation the same, And then bring the pauses up so they also are the same, looking for a square of your own making. Square breath is really a simple pranayama practice, but if it does cause you stress, then maybe go with a rectangle and have your pauses half the length of your inhalations and exhalations. I'm not here to stress you out. I'm not here to make you worry. So just thinking about your breath, maybe counting the breath for 4 counts on the inhalation, and then holding for either 2 if you're doing rectangular or 4 if you're doing square on the pause. 4 on the exhalation, and then 2 or 4 on the pause. And just keep the mind tracing around the square or the rectangle as you really notice where your breath is right now. And then if you feel comfortable with what you're doing, try and increase your number. Now, never jump by more than 1, because if you suddenly go from 4 to 8 and you can't manage it, you're not going to know at what point you could. So just grow by 1. So if you're working rectangular breath, then just taking it up and doing maybe 5, or you could possibly jump to 6 there, because on the holds you'll be doing 3. If you're doing square breath, you're going from 4 to 5. Now remember, you're in control of the speed at which you count. So you can increase the number without increasing the duration, and that is fine, okay? So just think about maybe lengthening, but maybe just working on counting a little bit quicker and leaving the duration the same. It's personal preference here right now. And then whenever you feel that you've got a really nice, cyclic, comfortable, doable square or rectangular breath, you can guide yourself in whether you then again increase your number. But please, 1 number at a time. It's slightly different on the rectangle because you do need to have half for the sides. So I totally get that, but trying to not jump massively. Don't suddenly go from 4 to 10. Try and do it in slow, gentle increments. It's always about being kind to yourself and just allowing yourself that space to grow and flourish rather than putting undue stress on yourself. So we're just going to complete 4 more rounds of your pranayama, if you wouldn't mind. If you've had enough already, then just relax the practice. But if you can, just 4 more rounds. And then when you have completed that, just relaxing that pranayama practice and just taking a moment to notice whether you feel any different, without expectation, again, without labeling anything. You might not like it, you might love it, you might feel different, you might not. It doesn't matter. We're just being very detached and just observing. And I want to just move into some sensation awareness visualization. So coming out of winter, which is usually pretty cold, I want you to imagine, just as you are here in your practice, that you are in a freezer. You are super cold. Imagine standing outside in the middle of January in just your underwear. You know, you are really, really cold. There's an icy wind blowing against you. How chilled you would feel. Try and feel that cold through conscious effort, because of course you're not in a cold, windy, chilly place right now. But just imagine that there are external influences acting upon your body, but there aren't. Create this sensation of cold with your consciousness. Try to experience cold. Now switch this. Feel the body becoming very hot. Try to experience the sensation of heat throughout your entire body. Recall a feeling of being very, very hot, whether due to artificial heat, radiators and heaters, or being directly in the summer sun. Try to feel that sensation of heat exactly as you will have experienced it in the past. If you've never felt extreme heat, then try and imagine what it would feel like. And then switch that. Try to experience heaviness in your physical body. You're burdened, you're weighed down. Your body is becoming heavier and heavier. It's so heavy that you are unable to move any part of your body. Not even able to raise an eyelid. Not even able to wriggle a finger or toes. Really summon up the feeling of heaviness in your body. Your body has become incredibly heavy. And then switch that. See yourself shedding the burden. Feel yourself stepping out from that holds you down. Experience the sensation of lightness. Light in the world, lightness in the body. Not heaviness now, but lightness. Feel your body becoming lighter and lighter and lighter until you feel completely weightless. The body is so light, so free, so unburdened. Try to experience this feeling of lightness in your physical body. Just taking time now to keep that feeling of lightness within you as you go through the next few days. Try to remember feeling unburdened, shedding, stepping through and out of all that's held us back. Think of the light coming into the world, this day of equality that's happening as we move towards light. Think about your sankalpa now, your resolve, your affirmation. See if you can recall the one you had at the beginning of this practice. Think about what it is that you want to make better about you or your life, and draw it to you. Use the power of attraction to bring it to you. Visit it often, repeat it always. Just starting to take deeper breaths now, re-energizing the body. Moving from those theta brain waves back through alpha to beta. Looking to re-enter the world. Looking for all things to be equal. Looking for the joys of spring. Looking to be free and positive as we move forwards. You can add little movements in if you are going to come out of this meditation. If you're staying where you are, please do so. Do not let me disturb you. If you do need to get up and move, then do this slowly, with care and kindness to your body. Don't shock it with gross movements. Gentle, small, little movements to begin with. Start at the periphery, fingers and toes, moving into hands and feet. Maybe using some joints, ankles and wrists, elbows and knees. Just re-alivening your body. And then when you're ready and feeling more awake, feel free to go about your day. From me, with love at this time of the vernal equinox, I wish you joy and peace and happiness. Bowen.